XRP is ready to rally. I'm looking at a triple tap formation on my doofus moron TA. I want to bring this Monday morning update to you guys here rather quickly. It's March 10th, 2025, and we got a good one lined up here. It's going to be a big week. CPI lie update coming out on Wednesday. Let's start off here by taking a look at our economic calendar. So we got nothing really taking place today. Tomorrow we get the job openings along with the NFIB optimism index. We'll see what the outlook's looking like. But then Wednesday is going to be the big one when we get the CPI lie, core CPI. And then we'll be looking for Thursday to get the wholesale numbers, producer price index, and the core PPI, as well as the initial jobless claims coming in on Thursday too. Friday, we get consumer sentiment, and that's going to round off our week for economic data. Now, a lot of people are blaming Trump for the markets coming back down. That's fine. I don't really think that he really cares, and he's saying that he doesn't care. And so we need to understand this. Once again, whether you like Trump or hate Trump, how are these policies and these decisions and these actions going to impact our portfolios? That's what we need to focus on. And I've been saying, since he came in, that we had an overvalued stock market, a weak economy. We were in a jobs recession. We're most likely going to be going into a technical recession for GDP for the first half of this year, or very close. And you got to rip the Band-Aid off. There's a lot to fix here. And I think that it's the proper thing to do. Let's save Main Street businesses. And if part of that sacrifice is the Magnificent Seven stocks coming down 25%, I don't think that Trump cares. And quite frankly, I don't care either. We've positioned ourselves accordingly for this move, and I've been telling folks to take a look at their portfolios, take a look at how detached from fundamentals that stock portfolio really is, and maybe consider positioning yourself accordingly, as we've done and has played out so well so far. So here's Trump on Maria Bartiromo yesterday morning.
Look, we're going to have a disruption, but we're okay with that. Is that what you meant? The stock market going down was the disruption? What other disruption were you alluding to?
Look, what I have to do is build a strong country. You can't really watch the stock market. If you look at China, they have a 100-year perspective. We have a quarter. We go by quarters.
That's true.
And you can't go by that. You have to do what's right. What we're doing is we're building a tremendous foundation for the future. Tremendous foundation.
So the question is, should we sacrifice our children's future and sacrifice not restoring the republic so that we can save the stock market? And to me, it's just an emphatic no. We shouldn't. We shouldn't be worried about that. And what Trump wants is to bring rates down. So part of that is going to be applying pressure here. The stock market's going to get shaken up. And this is really going to force the hand of the Federal Reserve to bring down interest rates. This is what Trump wants, because Trump's a debt guy. We have a lot of debt that needs to be refinanced for the U.S. government. And our Treasury basically front-loaded Trump. Secretary Janet Yellen, what she did was roll over a bunch of these treasuries into short-term treasuries that were going to be set to have to be, reissued or resurfaced basically during this Trump administration. So the first 6 to 12 months of this are going to be bumpy. We need to understand that. Kobesi letter elaborating a little bit further. In 2025, 9.2 trillion of U.S. debt will either mature or need to be refinanced. This is not the real estate. This is not credit cards. This is not small business loans. And so, like I said, Trump is choosing Main Street. He's choosing small businesses, Main Street, real estate. That's what he wants to save. If the stock market has to be sacrificed a little bit, that's a sacrifice we're willing to make. The quickest way to lower rates ahead of this colossal refinancing would be a recession. Could the U.S. benefit from a market crash? And I'm not going to go through the full thread. That's what's happening. That's what's underway. Japanese 40-year bond yield hits its highest level ever in history. Eventually, markets will remember that Japan has to roll over the world's biggest debt load ever assembled. It's the same situation over there in Japan. And we've highlighted the Japan carry trade, which started to unwind and blow up back in August before Trump even came in. So once again, the market is not really liking the moves and the actions that President Trump is making with the trade war, the tariff war, and Doge coming in and cutting and slashing. Is probably going to bring a little bit of a recession. Probably going to bring the stock market down. How's our crypto portfolios doing? Well, if you're positioned correctly in XRP and other digital assets, you're actually holding out very well. And our performance has been spectacular, pumping over 500% since Trump was elected and still holding really well. Now, what else is doing well? Gold. The U.S. gold imports hit a record 30.4 billion in January, marking a second consecutive month of sharp increases according to Zero Hedge. This is double the amount seen during the 2020 pandemic. At the same time, the U.S. trade deficit with Switzerland reached a record 22 billion. This suggests the majority of imported gold is coming from Swiss vaults. Physical gold buying is concerningly strong. Assets that remove you from counterparty risk is the answer. XRP in your vault, gold in your vault. This is the answer. This is what smart money is doing. This is what institutions are doing. Now, what's interesting, Canada just elected a new prime minister yesterday, Mark Carney, who used to be at the Bank of England. He's a big central banker, and he also knows about Ripple and XRP very well. While he was at the Bank of England, this is when they were actually doing trials and tests with Ripple and XRP back all the way to 2017. This goes way back. Now we bring it full circle. I don't know what the hell's going up in Canada, to be honest with you guys, like how this works. You know, Trudeau was supposed to be gone. He hung around for a little bit. Now you guys have elected Mark Carney. Can the Canadians in the chat please explain to me what the hell's going on up there? If you guys even know what's going on. Okay, but one thing is for sure, that Mark Carney is going to be leaning in to a new financial system, and that's for sure. The new Prime Minister of Canada is well aware of Ripple and XRP. Take a listen.
The praises of the underlying blockchain technology, and that's why he's saying, look, they're reorganizing the very business of the Bank of England to allow what he called the genius of crypto assets, which is peer-to-peer transactions. We know, in fact, that they've employed Ripple. They've been working with the disintermediated ledger company Ripple to test out this sort of blockchain technology at the BOE, and they showed some sort of tests back in 2017. So he's willing to look at the underlying tech, but perhaps not the cryptocurrency.
Yep. Long time partnership, 2017. Now, this is also him stating, in a multipolar world, you need a multipolar currency. Things don't just happen, they are made to happen. So, has this been part of a plan for a while? Mark Carney kind of waiting in the offing there, waiting for his time to slide on in here, and he's going to be a big part of this. Now, we know Canada, debt, currency, and liquidity crisis, very prevalent up there, and so it's going to take some big actions there. We'll see what Mark Carney does. I'm interested to hear from the Canadians in the chat. Let's bring it back here to America. And we have Patrick Bet David this morning. The Bitcoin maxis, the Twitter police. They're going to have to work a little bit of OT here today because Patrick Bet David is coming at this conversation without a bias, looking at the facts. And what is he finding? Well, as many of us have found, XRP is the better solution than Bitcoin. So Rob Cunningham sharing this clip here of Patrick Bet David. And I'm going to just let you listen to this clip real quick. He explains the poll that he conducted and the results that he found. Now, I just noticed here. Let's listen in on this clip real quick.
If you have value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. So 2 weeks ago, on February 16th, I ran a poll. And the poll says, which crypto has the best long-term technology? I didn't know what it was going to come up. I'm not a crypto guy. My audience is not a crypto community. It's very neutral. I put Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, other, explain why. At the lowest was Ethereum, 9%. Other was 12%. Bitcoin, whom I thought was going to be 70%, was 35%. And Ripple came up at 44%. This is 179,000 people voting. So it's not 200 or 800 or 10,000. It's nearly 200,000 people voting. Then Gary Cardone retweets it and says, when people run a poll like this and they don't know what they're talking about, this is why people get confused. No problem. Then I challenge him. Why don't you run the same exact poll I run and let's see what it does on your audience? I don't know. I'm not a Ripple guy. I'm not a Bitcoin guy. I'm not an Ethereum guy. I'm a business guy. He runs it. The results when he runs it is the following. He said, you are 50 years old, worth $10 million, and going into suspended hibernation for 8 years, escaping complete world chaos. You are required to make 100% investment in one of the following and have 1 hour to make a decision. XRP, Solano, US dollar, Bitcoin. XRP 67%, Bitcoin 30%. 23,000 people voted. I think this was taken down afterwards. Why? I don't know.
Oh, I just love it. I just love it. You got Bitcoiners openly calling for censorship right now of David Schwartz, of Ripple, of Brad, calling the new National Crypto Association that they created a threat to Bitcoin. Everything that we do, we try to lift up the entire space, yet we're still getting attacked. And of course, Gary Cardone, these guys are just silly. You know, the way that this question was posed is ridiculous. This is how people get misinformed. Let me pose a question that talks about aliens invading. It's the end of the world and a gun's to your head and you have 30 seconds to make a decision. And people still chose XRP. So they deleted the post. It's an absolute joke. It's just a flat out absolute joke. Now, furthermore, this whole video that he did, I think was like 12 minutes long. And he really just went through this whole conversation, Bitcoin versus XRP. Here you can see right here, he's comparing the transaction speed of Bitcoin and XRP. And obviously, if you go down the whole list, it's very clear. But even myself, even David Schwartz, Brad Gardenhouse, Ripple, everybody in the XRP community, we have nothing against holding the Bitcoin that we have. We're not suggesting that we need to sell the Bitcoin that we have. You know, we have some now. Let's hold it. That's fine. Maybe we can use it for something down the road. Maybe we'll get some price appreciation on Bitcoin and we'll be able to do something with it. David Schwartz saying right here, I think we're all getting a lot less than we could have because we still insist on attacking each other rather than aligning on common goals. And when you get people that are unbiased, trying to come get educated, and you get these vicious attacks and these slants and these weird questions that are thrown out, right? By these Bitcoin maxis and these guys that are openly calling for censorship, this is exactly what I'm talking about right here from Corey Bates. As long as XRP dies off, I don't care how low we go. These guys would rather have the entire space be sacrificed if it means that XRP dies off. Now, of course, that's just pure stupidity because XRP is not going to die off. It's not going anywhere. And Corey Bates is the same clown who just posted yesterday. I shared it in my update yesterday. Elon Musk hasn't mentioned Bitcoin in a while. I wonder why. Because it's not that important. It's not going to play that big of a role. It's just that simple. It's not going to be the future financial system. Is it going to be a relic of a past that people hold on to as a collectible? Yes. Nothing more, nothing less. And once again, there's nothing wrong with that. We respect Bitcoin. We want to bring everybody in. But these guys would rather have the entire space die off and be sacrificed if it means that XRP goes away. We're that big of a threat to them. It's just incredible. And David Schwartz is spot on. We could be much further along as a crypto space. But you saw Michael Saylor in there pouting and throwing a little, I mean, I don't know what he was doing in there at the crypto summit, to be honest with you guys. It's just not even close. There's a big difference between the way that Brad represents us and the way that Michael Saylor and some of these other crypto clowns represent the crypto space. There's a big difference. And the smart money sees it, and the smart money's moving. 167 million XRP moved this morning here. Another big whale transaction. We'll be watching that closely. And they're probably seeing the same thing that I'm seeing on these XRP chart right now. With the broader crypto spaces, as a matter of fact, everybody getting incredibly bearish. Everybody thinking that this market's coming back down for Bitcoin down to 76,000, maybe even down to 72,000. Some people even saying lower. Some people saying XRP is going down below $1. Some people saying that they've already sold off their XRP and they're going to wait to buy the bottom. And I've heard this story time and time again over the past couple months. Oh, XRP's coming back down. This is over. I'm going to wait to buy the bottom. And then we reverse. And then I never see those people comment on my videos again. So if you've been one of those people, I'm waiting for you to follow up. I want to hear how it went when you sold off and you were going to go buy the bottom. And I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm just following up. How did that program work out? And I'm worried that people are going to miss this one. Check it out. XRP price chart. I'm calling this one the triple tap. Just like we did back here in December. We went up to $2.90. Came back down. 1, 2, 3. Triple tap it down to the $2 level. Then we spike up again to another rally. $3.40. Nearly breaking to all-time high for XRP. What happens in February? The February flush out. Triple tap it. We break through all the way to $1.70. And I've said that was the bottom. I've been saying all month that was the bottom. I'm still saying that's the bottom. When everybody here has been calling for going back down to $1.70, $1.50, going back below $1, I'm going to go buy the bottom. Well, on February 28th, we went down to $1.94. A second tap, right? So we did one at the beginning of February, one at the end of February, and here we are. Are we going to do a triple tap? Maybe, maybe not. As you can see, we're setting higher lows. 1, 2, 3. Are we going to do it one more time? Maybe. If it comes, you better move quick. And you know why it's probably not going to come? Unless we get absolutely killed by something in the news that, definitely could play out. And we definitely could get hit. And I'm not saying that we definitely, are not going to go below $2 again. We could, but it's not going to last long. The reason why we're catching support right here is because everybody's got their orders placed between $2 and $2.10. I was reading the comments yesterday and somebody said, my order on Caleb and Brown executed at $2.08. And I was able to bring my average cost down because this is somebody that got in above $2.30, I believe. And so this is what we talk about doing. This is what I like to see. They got their order placed on Caleb and Brown, and it executes at $2.08, bringing their average cost down. I mean, thank God this is what we were doing when XRP was down at 20 and 30 cents. What an absolute blessing. Here we are, and I've been encouraging folks to continue with that program. If you're now still making acquisitions, that's fine. God bless you. Glad that you made it in, because you're making it in right before we blast off. XRP is ready to rally. And this is when the masses in the crowd is thinking one thing and is hell-bent on one thing. Usually we're going to get the opposite. And everybody is now calling for XRP to come back, do $1.50. We're going to go below $1. I'm going to sell now and buy the bottom. Let me know how that worked out, because it looks like to me we've set a higher low and we're about to bounce, and we're about to be moving to an all-time high for XRP rather quickly. So please stay tuned with us. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell if you appreciate our content. If you could like the video on the way out, we have all of our community resources available at ZachRector.com. And if you're looking to place some orders on Caleb and Brown, we have a few other exchanges as well. That's linked up down below. And I'd highly encourage you guys to work with a few different platforms, give yourselves some options and a little bit more access to liquidity. Very important coming up here as we continue this bull run. ZachRector.com, links up down below. God bless you all. I'll see you in the next one. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.